Good morning, Goosebumps fans. This is Miles of Slappy.
I apologize for that other guy. He can be a real dummy sometimes. Thank you guys for hanging out. Welcome back to the channel. It is your host, Robbie Myles, the teacher of physical media and horror and all that good stuff. And today we're talking Goosebumps, guys. I appreciate you hanging out. If you hit that like button, please subscribe to my channel. I got a fun show for you guys today. We're talking Goosebumps, a gem of a book that I really didn't remember as a kid. Like, the cover is iconic, and it's really one of the most notorious Goosebumps covers of all the original 62, to be honest with you, in my opinion, but I don't really remember reading it as a kid, and I reread it this morning, and I don't ever remember reading this book. But in any case, I wanted to revisit this book with you guys because it is an absolute gem. I loved every second of it. And one of the goals of this channel is not just to talk physical media, not just to talk horror, but to talk Goosebumps, because it's such a big love of mine, and whether it be the episodes or the books, I wanted to talk to you guys about it and give you my thoughts on book reviews, on different books of the original 62 episodes, etc. So the book I'm talking about, the gem that I'm talking about, and the cover that is so notorious is none other than The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam. I'll let you guys autofocus on that bad boy. Good old Buddy on the cover. We gotta get those hats. I wish we can get those hats made. I would get a Camp Jelly Jam hat. Anyway, so The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam. Let me read you guys the back of Jelly Jam. You ready for this? It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you stay alive. Swimming, basketball, archery, King Jelly Jam Sports Camp has it all. Too bad Wendy isn't a total sports freak like her brother Elliot. But how excited can you get over a game of softball? It's just a game, right? Wrong. Because Camp Jelly Jam is no ordinary sports camp. And Wendy's about to find out why. Why the counselors seem a little too happy, a little too obsessed with winning, and why the ground is always rumbling late at night. Now, when you find out what the rumbling is, it's bonkers. Anyway, so we have The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam. Now, like I said, I definitely read, I believe I read this book as a kid, but I don't remember it at all. Now, one of the things that I've come to realize over the years that I did not read all the Goosebumps as a kid. I was as big of a reader of them as you could possibly find. I was the kid that went on Friday to the Goosebumps fan club every Friday, but I think when it got into the later books, I didn't, I didn't read them. Like, you know, when it got to, like, I think 40s and 50s, I think I might have, I don't know what happened. I don't know, but I definitely didn't read all of them as a kid. So I'm going back, and it was select. I didn't read all of them. I read a lot of them. So I'm going back in and finding that, like, I didn't read all of them, which is fascinating to me, to be able to, like, go back in and enjoy some of these for the first time. Now, Jelly Jam is definitely something I had to have read as a kid, but I just don't remember it. And so I reread it this morning, and I just loved every second of it. Jelly Jam is a banger of a Goosebumps book. Also, not just the artwork, but, you know, Goosebumps has become so famous for the vibrant covers and colorways, and Jelly Jam specifically, the turquoise and the purple, just is just a fantastic colorway for this book. And again, in my opinion, this is one of the most iconic covers. Tennis ping pong monsters, anyone? Says Buddy. So yeah, we have Camp Jelly Jam, guys. And this book came out in 1995, July of 1995, okay? So, it came, just to give you some context here, Night of the Living Dummy 2 came out in May of 1995. Barking Ghost came out in June of 1995. Then right after Barking Ghost, in July of 95, we got Jelly Jam. Then in August of 95, we got Lawn Gnomes. And then in September of 95, we got Shock Street. So, you know, this is like the heart of the series, the original 62. Jelly Jam was book 33. So this is like right about the halfway point, and really when the series just was hitting a stride, guys. You were getting books every month. And, you know, I know Stine was writing them like every couple weeks. So you're getting a book every month, and again, Dummy 2, Barking Ghost, Lawn Gnomes, and Shock Street, and some of the best books in the series. So this is really kind of like the heart of the franchise, of the original 62, at least. But anyway, basic premise of this book. Wendy and Elliot, brother and sister, and the whole beginning sequence is bonkers. They're kind of being competitive in the car, and they're in the car with their parents, and their trailer that they're driving kind of off roads and spins around and gets knocked off the road, and the whole back part of the trailer that Wendy and Elliot are in just flies off the car, and they just go on a complete spiral down a mountain and just land, and they don't know what's going on, and they walk out, and the whole front of the car is missing, and they survive it. They're totally okay. And then in comes Buddy, who is the dude on the front cover here, who just has a beautiful, big old smile on his face. He actually has blonde hair in the book, and puts his arm around their shoulder and says, "Hey, come on, why don't you guys wait for your parents over here at Camp Jelly Jam?" And so they follow suit, and they think it's a good idea. And so goes the story. So anyway, Buddy shows up with a big smile. He welcomes them to Camp Jelly Jam. And the whole thing at Jelly Jam is that kids are competing, right? It's a sports camp, whether it's tennis or football or basketball or boxing even. Whatever it is, you have to compete and you have to give it your all, because you want to win those Jelly Jam coins, okay? And once you get 6 Jelly Jam coins, you are welcomed into the winner's circle. Okay, and once you're in the winner's circle, you get to walk with everyone in the winner's circle and get praised for all your achievements, etc. So, Wendy, the main character in the book, starts befriending some of her other bunkmates, like Deirdre, and Deirdre starts winning gold coins along with her brother Elliot, and eventually Deirdre wins 6 coins, and she gets welcomed to the winner's circle. Now, the night before, this is where things start to get a little spooky. A little, girl with red hair kind of peeks out of a tree one night and says to Wendy, "Get out of here, leave, you don't want to be here," and Wendy doesn't really know what that is, but she looks back, and then the little red-haired girl is gone. So something's going down. You don't really know what yet, and something just feels off. Like with Buddy, with his weird smile, something just feels off to her. But anyway, so goes the story, and her friend Deirdre wins 6 gold coins and gets welcomed into the winner's circle and wants to have a little party back at the cabin after the winner's circle walk to celebrate her big victory, and she never makes it back to the bunk. Okay, and that's where Wendy starts to think something is very wrong at Camp Jelly Jam. And so lo and behold, the story goes, her brother Elliot gets right up to 5 gold coins, never gets the 6 up to this point, and Deirdre's starting to freak out. Where are her parents? What is going on here? Where did Deirdre go? And other kids start going missing as well, and she follows the counselors one night to this igloo-type situation deep into the campground, and what she finds is a stench, a very disgusting, odorous stench, and turns out as she rounds the corner and heads down the steps into that basement igloo situation, it is none other than this big purple, what's the dude from McDonald's? Whatever that dude, that big purple monster dude's name is. It's this big, gelatinous, purple mass of a thing. It is King Jelly Jam in all his glory, and he's shedding snails. Legitimately shedding snails, and he is the most disgusting, foul thing you could possibly, think about or bring to imagination. And all the missing kids are there cleaning him with these big hoses. And, that's the crux of the story, and that's the big, kind of confrontation, and the kids are cleaning him, and if they stop to clean him, he eats them, okay? He legitimately, slurps them up and eats them whole. So he wants only the most fit and most competitive kids to be cleaning him, and it's just gross. And anyway, so that's kind of the crux of the book. And then they ended up stopping Jelly Jam at the end, of course, and a little bit of a twist ending. Not a great twist ending. But this book, was so much fun. And again, this is the heart of Goosebumps. So it was July of 95. So you're getting, this is a summer camp horror book, right? So a lot of the kids that read it could have been at summer camp, right? I was 9 when Jelly Jam came out, because I was born in 86. So I was actually 8, because I was not yet 9, because November I would have been 9. So, I mean, this was a terrifying book for kids, and it really it was scary, guys. It was scary for kids to go missing like that, and I know it sounds silly now to look back on and say this big purple monster slurping kids up and eating them if they stop cleaning him, but that was scary as a kid, and the fact that it was just this odorous stench and shedding snails, it was... it gave me the heebie-jeebies when I was reading it this morning. I really enjoyed it, guys. Jelly Jam is fantastic. I like, as far as the Goosebumps books I've read, reread in recent months, this is near or top the list. I really enjoyed Jelly Jam. So let me just give you a little more context here. In 1995, this is some of the horror that came out that year movie-wise. Okay, maybe it can give you a little bit of an understanding of the type of horror that Jelly Jam was. Maybe give us some more insight on why Stine wrote this. But you got Candyman 2. Okay, you have Carnosaur 2, which is a very gory Jurassic kind of dinosaur horror. You have Castle Freak, Barbara Crampton. Drawing a blank, Jeffrey Combs, really great full moon horror. You have Demon Knight, Frostbiter. So this, right off the bat, you're getting a lot of body horror. So like body horror was big in 95, and I'm not surprised that King Jelly Jam had this kind of like body-ish odor and body horror type situation where he's shedding snails and eating children. That kind of goes along with the major tropes of that year. You had the Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, Ice Cream Man, Lord of Illusions, Leprechaun 3, Mosquito, Night of the Scarecrow, Species, Tales from the Hood, Texas Chainsaw, A New Generation, Vampire in Brooklyn, and Village of the Damned, just to name a few. So it wasn't a phenomenal year for horror. It's kind of a down year overall for horror, but those body horror tropes and those body horror full moon style presentations were very in. And I think that's kind of what Jelly Jam is like, and I think that this is a great representation of 1995 horror in book form, in children's book form. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here for a few minutes and touch base with you guys about Jelly Jam. Have you read Jelly Jam before? Have you read it recently? Is this a book that you remember as a kid? Or is it a book that you've revisited in recent years and you just really enjoyed it? Hit me up in the comments, guys, because I'm going to do this more. I have videos and videos and videos lined up. I think I put out 3 in the last 24 hours alone. But getting into these original 62 Goosebumps books is one of the things I definitely going to be doing a lot more of. So reviewing the original 62, giving you my thoughts on them, and what better way to start than with the horror at Camp Jelly Jam. So anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out today. Sound off in the comments if you guys have read it. If you're Goosebumps fans, what are some of your favorite Goosebumps books? And I appreciate you guys hanging out. Hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. This is your boy, Robbie Myles. Out. Peace.